And an Oakland City Council meeting is underway right now, and a resolution calling for an end to the fighting between Israel and Hamas has attracted plenty of public comment on both sides of the issue.
There can be no lasting peace for Israelis and Palestinians if Hamas remains in power.
I want to dispel the myth that the genocide in Gaza is not a deeply local issue. We have spent an equivalent of 6.1 million taxpayer dollars, Oakland taxpayer dollars, sending weapons to Israel in 2023 alone.
The very lives of our global brothers and sisters are at stake, and they are dependent on the decision that you make today.
The resolution calls on Congress to demand an immediate ceasefire and the release of all hostages in Gaza. It's getting support from pro-Palestinian groups, but some Jewish leaders say it's going to bring more division. KTVU's Crystal Bailey joins us now. She's live from Oakland City Hall, where the vote is taking place. So, Crystal, any word on whether they've decided or maybe which way they might be leaning?
Well, right now, there has not been a decision made just yet, and the City Council is still hearing public comments at this time. There's actually a lot of people still gathered outside of City Hall waiting in line to comment. Earlier today, there was a line all the way down the block with people who were for and against the resolution wanting to share their opinions at the meeting. The resolution calling for a permanent ceasefire from Oakland City Hall asks the nation's leaders to do what they can to end the violence in the Middle East, addressing local leaders and going up the chain to President Biden. Oakland Council member Carol Fife drafted the resolution, she says, in deep collaboration with the community, including both Jewish and Muslim leaders in Oakland who, quote, want to see an immediate end to the suffering. One of those organizations who influenced the draft, the Arab Resource and Organizing Center, whose members stood in line to comment at the council meeting.
People are dying. It is prompt. It is impactful. This will empower our city to put pressure on those in power who have the ability to change the situation and make a permanent ceasefire, make peace in Gaza a reality.
Some Jewish community members shared their approval of the resolution.
We're glad that people are not being killed over the last few days, but that's not meaningful. It's got to be permanent, long-term.
However, the CEO of the Jewish Community Relations Council says it's not an inclusive resolution. He says he wants to see it amended or not passed at all.
It's a terrible misjudgment that they won't name Hamas as a terrorist organization. They won't talk about the atrocities and what that means for Jewish psychological safety. So we're trying to make some amendments today so that the Jewish community feels embraced and included by the City Council.
He thinks the resolution as it stands could elicit more harmful attacks to both Jewish and Muslim groups.
We wish that our City Council were more focused on the domestic threats facing our two communities than an intractable conflict 6,000 miles away.
Others agree, wanting the city to focus on problems closer to home.
I don't believe these international conflicts belong in City Hall.
Councilmember Fife sent a statement saying in part, "This is a time for diplomatic solutions, not military might, because the only pathway to lasting peace and justice will require addressing the root causes of the crisis." And the resolution would declare that Oakland is joining other cities in calling on Congress to demand a ceasefire, to also release all hostages and send humanitarian aid to people in Gaza. We'll keep you posted on what goes on inside those chambers tonight. I'm live in Oakland. Crystal Bailey, KTVU, Fox 2 News.